Greetings, fellow cultivators. Welcome to Audio Nova. Remember to like and subscribe to support the journey. Today, we're diving into the story of what's the point of cultivating immortality if you don't have money. Just as Xiong and Wang Yin began to fight within the divine power network, both true gods were simultaneously restraining each other and maintaining order on the scene. There were like two factions sitting together in a massive conference room, with the entire battlefield displayed on the table in the center. And at the heart of the battlefield was the fight between Zhang Yu and Wang Yin. At the same time, strands of divine power crisscrossed the heavens and earth, constantly monitoring bank accounts, talisman scriptures, live broadcast channels. Someone on the scene had just taken out their phone to secretly film when a message popped up about a fine for piracy. Huang Ziku snorted coldly. Do you have broadcasting rights? Daring to pirate footage in front of so many true gods. Just then, the true god Mu Guanyin, standing opposite, said, Huang Ziku, do you still have the mind to manage piracy? Have you thought about what to do if you lose? Huang Ziku glanced at Mu Guanyin and said, old thing, last time I saw you speaking up for Yaling Shao everywhere, I knew you must have received benefits. You were already backing Oasis Group back then, right? Mu Guanyin immediately retorted angrily, don't slander me. Whoever I support is for the heavenly court, for Kongshu. If Oasis does well, I'll support them. I have a clear conscience in this matter. You should think about what to do after this. Zhang Yu loses. Wang Yin was born a company shareholder, a level 5 believer. He can be called a genius, a pioneer of reform chosen by those above. Just then, Wang Yin on the field was slammed to the ground by Zhang Yu. As Zhang Yu pulled out the soul-wounding brick and began to smash it repeatedly, Mu Guanyin suddenly stopped talking, and many true gods on the scene widened their eyes. How is this possible? What is the background of this poor person? 1.5 hours he actually managed to defeat Wang Yin. Could it be a scheme from above? The many true gods on the scene, even the most knowledgeable among them, were all surprised at this moment, and then fell into deep thought. In their view, it was impossible for a first-level student, like Zhang Yu, to defeat Wang Yin. The only possibility for Zhang Yu's victory was that someone above had intervened. At that moment, Zhang Yu immediately became mysterious and unpredictable in their eyes. At the same time, Huang Zishu's eyes flickered as he sensed the fluctuations of divine power on the scene. Is Wang Yin unable to hold back and about to use a semi-automatic talisman? Clearly, at this critical juncture, the other party no longer cared about the previous promises. Just as Huang Ziku was about to suppress the other party's talisman, he saw Mu Guanyin jump out and completely seal off the divine power network on Wang Yin's body with a wave of his hand. Mu Guanyin shouted, what audacity from this Wang Yin, wanting to break the agreement under the noses of so many true gods? Based on his integrity, I think Oasis Group is too radical. How to reform the first level should still be considered carefully. Huang Ziku chuckled and was about to say a few words of ridicule when he discovered that he had already received Mu Guanyin's goodwill talisman. Looking at the numbers in the goodwill talisman, Huang Ziku couldn't help but feel awe. The other party was indeed a senior worthy of his study. Deng Lingding raised his hand to stop the clamor of the gods and faintly instructed everyone, prepare for the aftermath. The mess created by Oasis Group will ultimately have to be cleaned up by us. By the way, it's also time to clean up the first level. This is the decree of the Myriad Laws sect. Xian High School. It was still class time. But because of the decisive battle between Zhang Yu and Wang Yin, both teachers and students seemed somewhat unwilling to attend class. So, in martial arts class, the teacher simply played the live broadcast, commenting with the students as they watched. President Wang is so rich. I heard that the overtime pay under him is the highest in all of Songyang. It would be great to work under him after graduation. What President Wang said makes so much sense. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't know that our purchasing power here is so strong, and things are actually very cheap. He even wants to open a people-raising farm to support ordinary people. I didn't expect him to be so rich, and so kind. La Mulin listened to the whispers of the surrounding classmates, her face showing no surprise. After all, being rich meant being handsome, powerful, and excellent in all aspects, which was a concept she had been exposed to since childhood. But she didn't know why, at this moment, looking at the two sides fighting on the screen, she always had a small hope, even knowing that this hope was so slim, she couldn't help but think. She wanted Zhang Yu to win. Why? A rich person winning against a poor person, isn't that how it should be? Why would I want the poor person to win? Is it because Lemulin murmured in her heart, in front of Wang Yin, I'm not much different from Zhang Yu, just another poor person? Is this the feeling of being poor? Powerless, without hope, without a chance of victory, only able to be slaughtered. So being poor is so uncomfortable? The students below whispered, while the teacher above commented, you all should watch this battle carefully. It's rare to see a rich person of President Wang's level make a move in the first level in decades. Students with the means can watch it repeatedly after going back. After all, the battle is estimated to end very quickly. Zhang Yu should be defeated soon. Your homework today is to write a post-viewing essay, analyzing the reasons for Zhang Yu's defeat. And Lian Tianji, listening to the teacher's analysis, became more and more gloomy, like a gambler who had lost everything. It's over, it's over, it's all over. Zhang Yu won't be able to pay back the money after losing, will he? Just then, Zhang Yu on the screen had already grabbed Wang Yin and slammed him to the ground, again and again. Along with the repeated impact sounds in the video, along with the strange sound of the soul-wounding brick hitting Wang Yin's head, again and again, the entire classroom gradually quieted down. Only the gazes of everyone looking at the screen seemed to have become different from the past. So, even someone as high and mighty as Wang Yin, a member of the upper class, can be defeated by someone from the lower levels. Lian Tianji leapt up, feeling as if Zhang Yu had given him a tremendous push on his path to immortality. Inside Songyang High School, the students were also watching the live broadcast of the battle. When they saw Zhang Yu pick up the soul-crushing brick and smash it down, again and again on Wang Yin's head, they felt as if the entire world was shaking. Each blow seemed to land not only on Wang Yin's head, but also on their hearts. Qian Shen watched Wang Yin, finally, fall to the ground, motionless, and felt an unparalleled shock in his heart. Zhang Yu, the strongest high school student from the lower levels under the complete college entrance examination system, can even defeat the top students from above. What does this mean? Qian Shen slammed his hand on the box in front of him, excitedly saying, this shows that the college entrance examination system truly covers multiple levels of Kongshu. As long as we become the strongest in this system, we people from below are not weaker than those above. Zhao Tianqing's voice came from the box. Old Qian, be careful. Don't kill me. The newest novels are first published on 6/9 Shubiye. Qian Shen repeatedly apologized, then comforted him, Old Zhao, I'll take you to the office later, and help you fill out the transfer application form. You don't have to worry. The college entrance examination system is so perfect that since soul cultivators are also within this system, it means this path is definitely viable. Study hard after you go to Mangshan High School, and you may not be worse off than regular high school students in the future. Inside Red Pagoda High School, the many demon descendant students listened to Wang Yin's propaganda with extremely complex expressions on their faces. Zhong Wenwu thought to himself, so that's how it is. No wonder so many breeding bases in the protected area are being shut down. So the Oasis group plans to breed humans instead of demons. In that case, will the demon descendants of the lower levels gradually die out in the future? Thinking of this, Zhong Wenwu's face dimmed slightly. It wasn't until he saw Zhang Yu smash Wang Yin, until he had no power to resist, that Zhong Wenwu breathed a sigh of relief. He looked down at his vibrating phone, and saw a message from Anon. Anon Wenwu, look quickly. Zhang Yu won. Anon, does this mean our jobs are saved? Anon, without the influence of the Oasis group, will the protected area still breed demon descendants in the future? Deng Bingding's consciousness wandered through the vast network of divine power in the lower level. Countless pieces of information flowed before her. There were comments from the internet. There were bullet comments in the videos. There were various data such as likes, views, and shares. There were even conversations collected by microphones from mobile phones, computers, and other devices. Through this massive amount of information, she could feel the impact and changing trends that Zhang Yu and Wang Yin's battle had brought to the entire lower level of Kongshu. The rich, once the wall falls, everyone pushes it, will completely devour the Oasis group. Some families will rise and some families will fall. And the students, the mortals who haven't entered high school yet, inspired by Zhang Yu and intimidated by Wang Yin, are determined to work harder to get into high school. The students who are already in high school are also inspired by Xiong Yu and want to study even harder. Deng Bingding thought to herself, if we continue to promote Xiong Yu in the next few years, I'm afraid it will inspire quite a few students, right? This wandering god clearly understood that with a limited number of places, everyone becoming more diligent would not increase the number of students entering high school and ascending to the second level. Deng Bingding sighed in her heart. Their efforts may not necessarily make them better off, but at least their efforts can make the lower level more prosperous and provide more excellent resources for the upper level. Thinking of this, Deng Bingding couldn't help but sigh again. The upper level truly has a far-reaching plan. Using borrowed strength to strike, eliminating and suppressing, they simply and easily broke the Nether Palace's reform plan and reorganized the lower level, which will be quiet for many years. At the same time, Xiong Yu didn't know the impact his battle had brought to the lower level. He was quietly lying on the operating table, surrounded by more than a dozen doctors who were constantly treating him. In the battle with Wang Yin just now, although Xiong Yu suppressed his opponent not long after the start and achieved the final victory, he himself knew that the process was full of dangers and his body suffered heavy damage under Wang Yin's full attack. Not only was one arm twisted and necrotic, but the meridians, muscles, and bones throughout his body were also severely damaged by Wang Yin's Gang-Ki. When he finally defeated Wang Yin, Xiong Yu knew that he was actually close to his limit. Fortunately, with the blessing of the martial Dao Holy Embryo, Xiong Yu's ability to heal internal and external injuries greatly increased. Once he was no longer injured, he gradually began to recover his state. And this powerful vitality made the doctors who were treating him around him praise him repeatedly. Xinghe Zhenren, who was standing aside, was also observing Xiong Yu's situation, thinking to himself, he has suffered such heavy damage, but he is gradually recovering on his own. Even without the treatment of doctors, most of the wounds on his body would probably gradually heal on their own. Xinghe Zhenren, who had countless practical experience, had naturally experienced all kinds of injuries, large and small, and knew the human body very well. It was precisely because of this that he could see how powerful Xiong Yu's physique was at this moment. He only established his foundation today. What a domineering physique! Could it really be the legendary martial Dao holy body? How much medical expenses can this save? Minor injuries don't need treatment, which means you don't have to worry about getting hurt while practicing, allowing you to accept higher intensity training and improve faster. Besides, it also means you don't have to worry about getting hurt during actual combat. What is the gold content of not being afraid of injury in actual combat? It means that with the same overtime pay, Xiong Yu's costs are lower, he can earn several times more than others, and it is easier to make rapid progress on the path of immortality. It's really a battle-hardened body. Realist Xinghe thought to himself, even with the same immortal potential, Xiong Yu, who possesses such a physique, actually has far more background than his peers. The deeper the cultivation, the higher the realm, the higher the medical expenses will be. In this way, Xiong Yu's physique becomes even more terrifying. Realist Xinghe thought of his own Dharma body. Back then, he used to be someone who would fight whenever he wanted, fighting delivery men, takeout guys, security guards. He dared to fight anyone, construction site battles, debt collection battles, seal grabbing battles. He dared to participate in any battle. He would fight whoever made the most money, always rushing to the most dangerous and profitable work. But with the establishment of the foundation, especially after the Golden Core stage, realist Xinghe looked at the expensive Dharma body on his body, and the first thing he considered before the battle was whether this battle would damage the Dharma body. Do I need to change into a set of slacking off clothes? Just like rich people often have multiple sets of Dharma bodies divided into training clothes, combat clothes, etc. Poor people will also have multiple sets of Dharma bodies, such as slacking off clothes that are not afraid of damage, but have weak performance, and expensive exam clothes that can exert peak strength. Otherwise, what if the precious Dharma body is bumped or scratched? Even maintaining it a few more times costs money. Realist Xinghe thought to himself, if Xiong Yu can refine his own flesh and blood into a Dharma body after the Golden Core stage, how powerful would that be? However, it is impossible for him to have the money to customize a personal Dharma body. To achieve this step, he can only take the path of refining weapons, then he has to consider the issue of changing majors. Realist Xinghe looked at Xiong Yu on the operating table in front of him, and suddenly smiled, secretly saying that he was thinking too far. This disciple hasn't entered university yet, and he is already considering changing majors for him. But on second thought, he felt that it was appropriate to consider it earlier. Which of the descendants of those powerful families above didn't have their cultivation paths planned from childhood? Often in the first year of high school, they have already selected their university and major, and in the first year of university, they have decided on their masters and doctoral supervisors and plan their future faction routes. With Xiong Yu's talent, he should also plan early and climb up step by step, so as not to be like me, who chose the wrong path back then and wasted a good time in vain. Realist Xinghe thought of Xiong Yu's performance on the battlefield just now, and his heart was slightly excited. In an hour and a half, he cultivated the nine heavens cloud sky strength to such a degree. His martial arts aptitude is so high and strong that among all the people I have seen in my life, I am afraid that only one or two can compare. And those kinds of people are all seeds of nascent soul and even God transformation. Looking at Xiong Yu on the operating table, realist Xinghe seemed to have already seen the other party making rapid progress under his guidance, studying for a doctorate in the future, casting a golden elixir, transforming into a nascent soul, and standing on the podium of the 10-school league, thanking his master realist Xinghe. Xiong Yu looked at realist Xinghe with a smile on his face and asked, "Senior." Realist Xinghe came back to his senses, looked at Xiong Yu who had finished the treatment, put away his smile, and nodded majestically. "Is the injury healed?" Just as realist Xinghe wanted to have a good talk with him, his Dharma body could see messages constantly popping up. "Li Zulian Dad, you fought so hard today, it's the best time to earn money, why haven't you come yet?" "Li Zulian Dad. Where are you?" "Li Zulian Dad. Work overtime. Double the salary now." Realist Xinghe sighed and said to Xiong Yu, "I have to work overtime first. I'll come to you after I finish working overtime to guide you. You have been tired all day today, so take a good rest first. But you remember, if the true gods talk to you about rewards in the next 2 days, you must call me over, and I will help you talk. If they don't look for you, then wait for me to take you to talk." After saying that, realist Xinghe had already turned into a ball of fire and soared into the sky. Accompanied by countless mobile phone vibrations and the warning of the Golden Core realm, he had already jumped into the battlefield with fire all over the sky. Watching realist Xinghe leave, Xiong Yu was about to go find Bai Zhenjun when he felt a tightness behind him and a warm body had already hugged him tightly from behind. Bai Zhenjun, who was hugging Xiong Yu from behind, said excitedly, "Yuzi, we won. The bank account is also unfrozen. Yuzi, we can go to the top 10 together." Xiong Yu turned around and looked at Bai Zhenjun up and down. "Zhen, are you okay?" Bai Zhenjun shook her head and said with a smile, "Don't worry, the doctor gave me a discount, and the true God reimbursed me, so I didn't spend a penny." At this moment, bursts of explosions came, and looking at the constantly expanding battlefield, Xiong Yu said tiredly, "Let's go back." After experiencing a series of battles, breakthroughs, cultivation, and death battles this day, Xiong Yu now just wants to have a good rest. Hearing this, Bai Zhenjun nodded repeatedly. Having finally defeated Wang Yin, she didn't want to continue taking risks and get involved in the remaining battles. But on the way back to the apartment, the two quickly discovered that there were conflicts all along the way. From time to time, you could see fighting company employees, and even the subway was shut down because the subway company also participated in this company war. Xiong Yu had to activate his Foundation Establishment domain. Foundation Establishment Cultivator Xiong Yu has entered within 100 meters of you. Please be polite and do not collide. The two cultivators who were chasing each other saw the message, and their expressions changed slightly, and they quickly left the street. The Oasis Group employees who were hiding were shocked when they saw the news and quickly left their current location to find another hiding place. The outsourcing personnel who were leading the team to search for Oasis Group employees were all in awe when they saw this message and paid attention to Xiong Yu for a while before continuing their actions after Xiong Yu left. People's respect for Xiong Yu, in addition to Xiong Yu's own powerful strength, is also because he defeated Wang Yin. Wang Yin is a noble person sent from above. Being able to defeat him in front of so many people is like slapping the people above in the face. How can Xiong Yu's background be small? Even if he has no background, he must be someone selected by the people above, otherwise why would he win? Powerful strength, strong background, can't afford to provoke. With the opening of the Foundation establishment domain, Zhang Yu could feel that where he passed, there was a calm and tranquil atmosphere, and even those who had already started fighting left one after another, under the reminder of their companions. Cha, the general manager of the Oasis Group, was the first to escape after Wang Yin was defeated. At this moment, he was followed by a large group of pursuers. Suddenly, he felt that the pursuers' offensive had stopped. The latest novels are available on 69shu.com. He was slightly stunned, looked at the constantly vibrating phone, and a strange look flashed across his face. Is it because Xiong Yu passed by? Unexpectedly, his passing by gave me a breather. A bitter smile flashed across Cha's face. Recalling the scene of the other party defeating Wang Yin, he was still full of disbelief until now, and he couldn't understand it. In the end, only a piece of regret, and regret remained in his heart. Alas, if I had known, I would have lent money to Zhang Yu. Or I shouldn't have taken this task and led the team to hunt them down. On the other side, as soon as Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin returned to the apartment, they took a bath and changed clothes first. After all, after a day of fatigue, both of them were still covered in blood stains, sweat stains, mixed with various dirt, and it was impossible not to feel uncomfortable. Zhang Yu said, Jen, didn't we agree that I would wash first? What are you doing in here? Bai Zhenjin said impatiently, I feel so uncomfortable all over, let's wash together, and get it done quickly. We all know each other well, what's there to hide? You're just making a fuss. At this moment, Fuji also woke up. What are you two doing? Did you win? Previously, because of too much attention from the true gods, Fuji took the initiative to hide herself, and fell into a deep sleep, and set a similar time for herself to wake up. Zhang Yu said, finally, I used the soul wounding brick too. After hearing Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin's answer, Fuji repeatedly said good. Bai Zhenjin said, however, the money borrowed before has to be repaid at 1.3 times the amount, which is a considerable sum. Fuji said, it's just repaying debts. Which Kongsha person hasn't owed debts? As long as the three of us live well, that's better than anything else. When Zhang Yu came out after changing his clothes, he found that Bai Zhenjin was already lying on the sofa, fast asleep. Since embarking on the path of cultivation, Bai Zhenjin had not slept for a long time. Especially in order to prepare for the Foundation establishment exam, she had been in a high-pressure state. Later, facing the oppression of Wang Yin, it was even more difficult to relax for a moment. Now, after experiencing a series of battles, she finally solved the big mountain of Wang Yin. Suddenly relaxed, Bai Zhenjin fell asleep unknowingly. Zhang Yu smiled slightly when he saw this scene, and also lay down on the sofa next to him, wanting to take a nap. But as soon as he stopped running his mental method, after a few seconds, Zhang Yu opened his eyes again, and climbed up. Feeling the chill brought by the power of the ritual, Zhang Yu shook his head helplessly, and sighed. After continuous deadly battles, I almost forgot about you. It's really impossible to relax for a moment. However, after restarting his mental method, Zhang Yu felt a sense of stability. Or rather, after stopping the mental method just now, he felt a sense of emptiness in his heart, and even a trace of guilt for being lazy outflow. Alas, I have already become the kind of person I used to hate. But there's no way, Kung Shu is like this. The words Wang Yin said at the end appeared in Zhang Yu's mind. He thought to himself, I still have to become stronger, and richer. While running his mental method, he also looked again at the blood-colored formula on the back of the remnant cow in his visualization. Different from the feeling of reading this formula before, Zhang Yu now felt a vague understanding in his heart when he read this formula again. This formula seems to be able to complete the remnant cow body sacrifice mental formula. The remnant cow body sacrifice mental formula I am practicing is actually a castrated version. Immortals and Buddhas pressed down from above, all living beings are like grass, bones broken and tendons snapped, blood dried and marrow withered. Refuse to surrender even in 9 deaths, no regrets even in sacrificing oneself, only then can the primordial spirit return to its fleshly home. Zhang Yu haltingly read the lines of blood-colored incantations in his mind, and all kinds of insights flashed through his heart in an instant. The first appearance of these blood-colored incantations was when Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin fought Wang Yin together. He fought to the last moment, and the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique was also operating at an unprecedented peak. But later, Zhang Yu read these sentences of incantations, but he never fully understood them, and failed to comprehend the mysteries within. It wasn't until the second time he fought Wang Yin alone, in a desperate battle, and constantly pushing his physical body to an unprecedented limit, that Xiong Yu gradually understood the mysteries of this incantation. It was like a thunderbolt flashed in his mind. The original remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, the mysteries of the incantation, and Xiong Yu's feelings of fighting to the death, were pieced together and combined, and finally transformed into a more complete and mysterious remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique. Xiong Yu closed his eyes and began to circulate this brand new remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique. This kind of mental technique update made Xiong Yu feel like he was slowly correcting his thoughts and changing his mind. This was originally an extremely difficult thing. But after a series of confrontations with Wang Yin, especially after today's continuous fierce battles and struggles to survive again and again, Xiong Yu's own mentality and thoughts have undergone great changes. At this moment, his conversion to the complete version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique was a natural and smooth process. As Xiong Yu gradually converted the old version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique into the complete version, a roar came from the depths of his mind. Roar. The white ox, which was originally struggling and crawling with difficulty in the mud, gradually disappeared from the knife cuts, sharp thorns, fire burns, and lightning strikes that covered its body. Even the originally broken limbs began to grow back after a burst of twisting. The blinded eyes reopened, and the deafened ears became agile again. Roar. After another roar, accompanied by the boiling of the surrounding mud, the fully recovered white ox let out a long howl, stepped into the air with its 4 feet, and stood tall above the sea of mud. The endless sea of mud below roared and surged continuously, as if transformed into black hands grabbing towards the white ox, but they were also pressed under its feet by the white ox's loud shout. Observing the white ox in his mind, that stood proudly in the air, and suppressed the sea of mud, Xiong Yu felt his mind completely sink into his physical body, as if transformed into pieces of flesh and blood, controlling his physical body in an unprecedented way. Every piece of his flesh and blood, every bone, seemed to bear his thoughts and become alive. If Xiong Yu was injured before, his physical body would recover according to the instinct in the flesh and blood. At this moment, the alive physical body would recover according to his will. The way to heal wounds, whether the immune system is on or off, how to thicken and enlarge broken bones, Xiong Yu could feel that it was his will that could control it. This is the physical activation brought by the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique. And Xiong Yu could feel that, as the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique continued to improve, in the future, external injuries would not leave scars, blood vessels would clean themselves, and even organs could be turned on and off according to his orders, and nerves could be rebuilt according to his will. As long as I continue to improve this true remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, my self-healing ability can be several times stronger than before. Even some serious injuries that were originally difficult to heal on their own, and required treatment, can be healed by self-healing in the future. Feeling the true power of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, a trace of understanding flashed in Xiong Yu's heart. The true remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique is not just created to encourage people with disabilities to work. The so-called remnant ox self-sacrifice is to fight to the last moment, even if severely injured, with broken limbs. One must resist, sacrifice oneself to fight again, and never surrender even in 100 deaths. And to be able to sacrifice oneself to fight again and again, one needs a strong self-healing ability to survive from death. Otherwise, one sacrifice will damage the body, and there will be no strength to fight again. Xiong Yu sighed in his heart. The remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique that I practiced before, although it can also enhance some recovery power, is far from the complete version. Is the cultivation technique platform deliberately castrating this mental technique into an incomplete version? Xiong Yu recalled the remnant ox he originally visualized and thought castrating. The cultivation technique is like cutting off the ox's limbs, blinding its eyes, and deafening its ears. At this moment, Fuji said, Xiong Yu, how do I feel that the aura on your body has changed just now? Have you learned a new mental technique? Hearing Xiong Yu describe the power of the complete version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, Fuji was slightly surprised, and commented, according to what you said, this complete version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique seems to be close to a military-grade cultivation technique. Even if it's not military grade, it should be a pre-military grade. You must not reveal the effects of this mental technique to outsiders. In the future, when others ask you why their injuries recover so quickly, you should say that you have a special physique. Fuji sighed. As for the platform castrating, the cultivation technique, that's normal. However, the complete version of this mental technique has a level close to military grade, which means that this kind of powerful self-healing ability, if promoted, wouldn't it shake the medical market? If everyone can treat their own injuries, how can medical companies make money? Various pills, medicines, and even protective equipment and magical treasures will probably be greatly affected. Xiong Yu nodded slightly. Whether it was the amazing self-healing ability of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, or the platform's castration, he decided not to easily reveal the secrets of this mental technique. Except for a Zhen, I won't tell anyone else. I just don't know if the Zhen can learn it. Xiong Yu thought of the process of comprehending the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, and a doubt arose in his heart. Since this mental technique has been castrated into an incomplete version, how could I comprehend it? Could it be that the creator of this mental technique, the wild ox great sage, hid the mysteries of the complete version in it? So that even if people practice the incomplete version, they have a chance to comprehend the complete version? But no matter how Xiong Yu tried to think, he couldn't figure out how this incredible thing was done. He then tried to search for the wild ox great sage on the internet, and found that there was very little information about this founder of the cultivation technique on the internet. Most of it was workers scolding this founder of the wild ox soul-suppressing mind technique and the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique. Xiong Yu curiously asked Fuji, but this senior evil god didn't even know about the wild ox great sage. The one who can create a cultivation technique like the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique should not be an ordinary person. But how do I feel that his information has been erased? It seems that it will be difficult to collect the great sage inheritors set in the chain law diagram. Xiong Yu shook his head, knowing that it was useless to think about it now, so he temporarily suppressed his distracting thoughts and concentrated on practicing the complete version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique. In the blink of an eye, a night passed. The latest novel is first published at 69shu.com. Remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique level 10 level 11. Tao heart level 11. Physical strength level 10.01 level 10.02. As the first ray of sunlight from the sky shone in from the floor to ceiling windows, Xiong Yu slowly opened his eyes. Xiong Yu slowly stood up, and his whole body crackled and exploded, giving him a feeling of renewal. After this night of practice, the complete version of the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique has been completely stabilized by Xiong Yu, and can operate at any time with his thoughts like the previous mental technique. As long as he does not lose consciousness, it can be non-stop 24 hours. And after his body was activated this night, it was constantly being subtly adjusted according to his will. The structure became more reasonable, more suitable for his cultivation and combat, and even his physical strength was improved because of this. Xiong Yu thought if the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique continues to be practiced and operated like this, my physical body will continue to be in an activated state, and it will be constantly adjusted and grown according to my will, which will also be a long-term improvement and optimization for the physical body. At this moment, Xiong Yu felt more and more the power and domineering of this mental technique. Then Xiong Yu picked up the silent phone next to him. Since he defeated Wang Yun yesterday, the phone has been vibrating non-stop. Almost constantly, people were sending him messages. There were congratulations, flattery, friend requests. There were also phone calls, video calls, borrowing money, urging loan repayments, group at him, asking him to send red envelopes, sending selfies, sending pornographic pictures which encompassed everything, and made Xiong Yu realize for the first time that he had so many friends in Kongshu. At first, Xiong Yu was enjoying himself, enjoying the rare spiritual massage, but later he couldn't read them all, so he could only mute them first. At this moment, Xiong Yu picked up the phone again, and glanced slightly, and saw rows of red dots, all messages from various software. Too lazy to read them one by one, Xiong Yu just clicked on a few messages from acquaintances. Yuxing brother, do you still need money? Do you want me to lend you some more? No need for 1.3 times, just 1.1 times repayment. Qian Shen, do you know Wang Yin's college entrance examination and competition results? I can't find them after searching everywhere. La Mulan, you are not restricted by the Oasis Group's contract now, right? I want to ask you for something, waiting for you at the old place. He died, old classmate. Songyang High School is proud of you. We know you must be very busy recently, so the school has already helped you ask for leave. The principal asked me to ask you when you are free to come back and give a speech to encourage the senior students and inspire the junior students. Zhao Tianxing recalled. Zhao Tianxing recalled. Zhao Tianxing, congratulations. May you rise step by step, and your immortal path be long. Xiong, and thanks to you, I won't be laid off. I thank you on behalf of all the demon descendants in the protection zone. Mo Tianyi, well done. To see you smash that rich man's head so hard, I charged a video membership for the first time, and I felt that you vented a breath for all the poor people. I was just excited and wanted to tell you this. You must be very busy now, no need to reply to me. Song Hailong Xianyuan Group wants to renew the endorsement contract with you. Contact me if you are interested. Red Tower Dragon Chairman, are you Relong? Listening to Audio Nova. Looking at the messages on his phone, the corners of Zhang Yu's mouth unconsciously turned up, and he felt his mood improve instantly. Bai Zhenjin, who was next to him, said, "What are you looking at? Why are you smiling so lewdly?" Zhang Yu said lightly, looking at this beautiful world. But in the next moment, Zhang Yu's brow furrowed, because he saw a lot of claims messages. Damn it. Zhang Yu said angrily, the field damage fee from yesterday's battle is actually going to be counted on my head. Isn't it just smashing a few walls and damaging a few buildings? You want me to pay 10 million? Are they crazy? Bai Zhenjin, who was eating breakfast on the other side, said upon hearing this, it's the company behind the abandoned factory yesterday. Anyway, we acted as patrol team members this time, so the true gods should bear the compensation. You, hurry up and eat your meal, then contact Deng Yaoding and tell her about this matter. Also, she just called and said that she wanted our opinions on the disposal of the Oasis group and the distribution of some items. Is this considered post-war spoils distribution? Zhang Yu's eyes lit up when he heard this, and remembering what True Person Xinghe had said yesterday, he sent a message to the other party. True Person Xinghe replied, "You go to the Oasis group to discuss with her first, listen to her opinion, but don't agree to anything before I arrive." So Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin went out after finishing breakfast. As soon as they left the apartment, Zhang Yu was surprised to find a large group of people standing outside the apartment building's entrance. The cleanliness of the apartment's surroundings, compared to the burned cars, soaring smoke, and debris-filled streets not far away, formed a stark contrast. Zhang Yu remembered that he hadn't turned off the Foundation establishment domain. Because of the Foundation establishment domain, his apartment became a safe zone overnight, becoming a haven for many people on the surrounding streets. The people around them had obviously seen the live broadcasts, or videos, and recognized the identities of the two. Under their odd gazes, Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin flashed, disappearing into the street with a series of sonic booms and electric sparks. When Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin arrived at the Oasis building, they found that the entire building had been controlled by the Divine Department, with patrol team members everywhere. Arriving at the top floor, the two entered the office and saw Deng Bingding, who was in charge here. "You're here?" A trace of divine power flashed across Deng Bingding's body, and a figure had already separated and walked to Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin. She looked at the two with a smile and said, "You two have done a great job in stopping the Oasis group this time. I already know about the field claim issue. I will send someone to contact them, so you don't have to worry about it. Regarding the disputes between the two of you and the Oasis group, in addition to unfreezing the funds in the account, the Oasis group originally agreed to pay the two of you $4 million each month for the next 9 months, until the college entrance examination. That is a total of $36 million in remuneration for each of you. I will also help you recover it. It will be credited to your account in a week at most." Hearing Deng Bingding's words, Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin were both shocked and cheered up. Seeing the happy expressions of the two, Deng Bingding thought to herself, "I should be promoted after this operation is over." A region under the jurisdiction of Wanfa University has already arranged a position for me. These two people are probably going to enter Wanfa University in the future, and they might even meet them then. These two people, especially this Zhang Yu, definitely have a strong background. I might as well use some resources to improve my relationship with them before I leave. Just by glancing at Zhang Yu's path to rise, Deng Bingding could feel that the other party must have the support of a high-ranking existence behind him. First, Zhang Pianpian's care, followed by the amazing rate of progress from the competition to Foundation establishment. That's all. Before the battle with Wang Yin, The higher-ups also provided the flood dragon spirit, pivot, and the nine heavens cloud void force. Especially this nine heavens cloud void force, which is both a former military-grade technique and related to Zhang Yu's infinite cloud hand, and finally, there is true person Xinghuo's guidance. Everything is too coincidental, it's simply not even acting anymore. But that's good too. Having a good relationship with them should also be helpful to my work after the promotion. After making various thoughts and trade-offs in her mind like lightning, Deng Bingding looked at the two with happy faces and said again, "The rewards for the previous actions have already been issued." Zhang Yu nodded slightly, knowing that the other party was talking about interest-free loans and 3 foundation establishment stage techniques. Deng Bingding continued, "However, because of the Oasis Group's violations, which caused huge losses to the two of you, we have decided to let the Oasis Group compensate the two of you." Zhang Yu's heart moved, knowing that the other party was making an excuse to reward them. Bai Zhenzhen's eyes also lit up, and she couldn't help but guess how much the compensation would be. Deng Bingding changed the subject and talked about another matter. "You may already know that universities use spirit coins, and almost no one in the second layer will accept the currency of the first layer. And if you want to exchange them, the upper limit that can be exchanged when a single person goes to the second layer is 5 spirit coins. According to the current exchange rate, it is about 50.3918 million of the first layer's currency. So, my advice to you is, keeping the first layer's currency is useless. Next, spend the money as much as possible, and exchange it for various resources that are useful to you. The same goes for the Oasis Group's compensation this time. I suggest you choose some resources unique to the Oasis Group, rather than taking money. For example, some cutting-edge products from the Oasis Group's laboratories, some spare Dharma bodies left by Wang Yin." Hearing this, Zhang Yu couldn't help but be tempted and asked, "Wang Yin left behind spare Dharma bodies?" Deng Bingding smiled slightly. With a thought, divine power swept through the air, and a light curtain appeared in front of Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenzhen. "These are 3 Dharma bodies that Wang Yin didn't have time to take away. You can each choose one as compensation from the Oasis Group." "Oh, right," Deng Bingding reminded. "Flood Dragon Spirit Pivot and Soul Wounding Brick belong to the Divine Department's resources. Now that the operation is over, you still have to return them later." Zhang Yu sighed helplessly, feeling a sense of regret. Then, he focused his attention on the light curtain in front of him. He discovered that the Dharma bodies left by Wang Yin were a pair of eye Dharma bodies, a set of calf muscle tendon Dharma bodies, and a heart Dharma body. Deng Bingding introduced, "All 3 sets are top-notch enterprise-level Dharma bodies." Zhang Yu nodded slightly. He knew that Dharma bodies were divided into teaching level, professional level, enterprise level, and military level. He and Bai Zhenjian didn't have the authority to use military level ones. Top-notch enterprise level ones were the most suitable for them. A Dharma body time remnant demon eyes. It has strong performance, can connect to the spirit world smoothly without lag, and can also break down visual images into 128 frames for slow motion. Wait, Zhang Yu asked curiously, what does it mean to connect to the spirit world smoothly without lag? Does it mean there are lags? Deng Bingding said, as a matter of course, isn't lagging normal? The physical body is mortal. Encountering incomprehensible problems and seeing unclear images is a kind of lag. This is due to the limitations of the physical body. Dharma bodies naturally also have performance limitations. Especially in places where the spirit world is extremely developed, perhaps a spirit world fluctuation from a nascent soul powerhouse. Well, you haven't seen it, but you can understand it as the customized spirit world special effects of the powerhouses. The special effects of a nascent soul true lord might cause low performance, Dharma bodies to lag. Not only can you not see clearly, but there might even be delays and freezes, requiring a restart to resume operation. Damn it. Zhang Yu cursed inwardly. After going up, even a poor person can't see things smoothly. The special effects of the rich can make my eyes lag. I can't even look directly. Deng Bingding then introduced the other to Dharma body's calf muscle, tendon, Dharma, body formless, wind demon. It can accelerate with jet propulsion, and produce optical after images. Heart Dharma body blood pump core. It can be used as a second heart to enhance blood supply throughout the body. The internal burning heart mode allows the user to enter a super limit state. Just as Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenzhen were extremely tempted, wondering which Dharma body to choose, true person Xinghuo's voice rang in their ears. Sorry, I'm late. With fiery red hair fluttering slightly, true person Xinghe floated into the office. He glanced at the three dharmic bodies in the light curtain and transmitted his voice to Xiong Yu, and by Zhenjin, Zhang Yu, you choose the time remnant demon eyes. By Zhenjin, you choose the formless wind demon. By Zhenjin had already taken a fancy to the formless wind demon. However, Zhang Yu had been hesitating between the time remnant demon eyes and the blood pump core. After hearing true person Xinghuo's voice transmission, he immediately looked at the other party with a puzzled expression, as if waiting for the other party's explanation. True person Xinghe patiently explained, through voice transmission, Dharma, bodies, are essential for studying and cultivating up there. Otherwise, you'll be half blind, unable to see the rankings and titles above other people's heads, and unable to recognize people. The time remnant demon eyes have good performance, enough for you to use until you graduate with a bachelor's degree. It's no problem to look directly at a nascent soul. As for the blood pump core, this Dharma body requires at least 150 units of mana to maintain, which is too much of a burden for you. Besides, there's another reason. I hope that after you enter university, you won't transplant Dharma bodies to other parts of your body, besides the I-Dharma body, for the time being. When true person Xinghe worked overtime yesterday, he had been browsing Zhang Yu's information and repeatedly reviewing Zhang Yu's battles. With his rich experience, he kept pondering which path was truly suitable for the other party. And now, he had come to a conclusion. True person Xinghe explained to Zhang Yu, you are different from others. You have a strong physique. It would be a pity to replace it with mass-produced Dharma bodies. First go to the civil engineering department to temper your body and earn resources for cultivation. Then transfer to the refining department and gradually refine your tempered body into a Dharma body, or even a magic weapon. This is the most powerful path that is most suitable for you. And to walk this path, you should use as few Dharma bodies as possible. Otherwise, for every part of the Dharma body you use, you will have an organ that has been replaced. And this replaced organ will not be able to keep up with your body refining progress. Even if you transfer to the refining department in the future, these replaced organs will not be of much value. Realist Xing had decided to guide Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin, so he naturally understood their information and past experiences, knowing that the two had an extraordinary relationship, a life or death friendship, and would definitely be able to help each other in the future. To be honest, Realist Xinghe was somewhat envious of their life and death friendship. Realist Xinghe was already over 350 years old. As he grew up, he naturally had many friends. However, most of the friends he had made in his early years failed to enter the Golden Core realm. So, by the time he reached his age, those friends had already died of old age many years ago. As for friendships where one could entrust their life, these were even rarer in Kongshu today. Looking at Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin, meeting companions in high school who cultivated together and climbed upwards together, Realist Xinghe couldn't help but feel emotional. Therefore, when considering Zhang Yu's cultivation path, he also considered the mutual assistance between Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin. Realist Xinghe continued to transmit his voice to Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin. Zhang Yu, Bai Zhenjin, when you enter Wanfa University, one of you will study civil engineering, and the other will study security. In the future, one will build construction sites, and the other will protect them. You can also take care of each other on the construction site. When you have saved enough cultivation resources, Zhang Yu, you can switch to the weapon forging department and pursue the path of military magic armaments. By Zhenjin, you are good at actual combat, so you can study military operations. At that time, Zhang Yu, you can help Bai Zhenjin forge magic armaments, and by Zhenjin, you can help him test and promote them. Listening to Realist Xinghuo's voice transmission, Zhang Yu thought to himself, civil engineering to weapon forging. That's somewhat similar to the advice my sister gave me. Regarding his physical body, which he had painstakingly trained for so long, Zhang Yu really didn't want to give it up easily. At this moment, he had already vaguely agreed with the advice given by Realist Xinghe. But after I go back, I can ask Fuki again. Next time I talk to my sister, I'll also ask her to help me consider it. Although he agreed with Realist Xinghuo's suggestion, Zhang Yu still decided to ask a few more trusted people for reference. After all, when it came to choosing a university major and the future development path, Zhang Yu felt that he couldn't be too careful, as it was related to his immortal cultivation path for the next few decades or even hundreds of years, so he had to be careful. At this moment, under the suggestion of realist Xinghe, Zhang Yu, and Bai Zhenjin, chose the time remnant demonic eye and the phaseless wind demon. But just after choosing these two magic armaments, realist Xinghe spoke to Deng Bingding again, wandering god Deng. These two magic armaments were left by Wang Yin, which can be regarded as his compensation to Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin. But doesn't our divine department have any rewards for those who have made contributions? Especially Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin, who have risked their lives several times to fight Wang Yin, shouldn't they be rewarded? You can't bully my two disciples. Moreover, Bai Zhenjin didn't get any reward from you before. I won't ask you for any materials, just give them a few foundation building cultivation techniques. Hearing this, Deng Bingding thought to herself that this little ghost Xinghe was really protecting these two, and he grasped a key point as soon as he mentioned it: foundation building cultivation techniques. She thought to herself that realist Xinghuo's actions, she didn't know if it was the above's instructions, or the same behavior, as her to actively increase favorability. But on second thought, Deng Bingding felt that maybe both were true. After all, Xinghe was already old. If he didn't seize this opportunity with Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin, he would probably spend the rest of his life on the first level. While realist Xinghe was talking to Deng Bingding, he was also explaining to Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin, through voice transmission with your magic power, it's almost enough for one person to equip one magic armament. It's useless to ask for more magic armament rewards. As for the money, medicine, magic weapons, and equipment on the first level, they are all aimed at the key refining market, and they have limited effect on you who have already established the foundation. It's better to get some foundation building cultivation techniques that you can start practicing now. Realist Xinghe solemnly reminded the 2 inches high school is just the beginning of the immortal path. Although your current grades are extremely excellent, you must not be arrogant. You must know that university is the real stepping stone to the path of immortality. Remember not to slack off in the next 9 months. You must seize every minute to continue practicing and prepare for university. The cultivation technique platform on the first level provides very few foundation building cultivation techniques. After all, these cultivation techniques are sold for spirit coins above, and there is no market below. It's rare that you now have the path of the righteous God, so it's very cost-effective to ask them for some foundation building cultivation techniques, which will be of great benefit to your cultivation in the next 9 months. Moreover, it's not difficult for the righteous gods to approve a copyright. Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin nodded repeatedly, feeling that what realist Xinghe said made sense. But at the same time a sense of worry arose in the hearts of Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin. It was only because they discovered that old Deng Xinghe was getting better and better to them, more and more like a sincere elder, like a teacher who cared about them. If the previous guidance could be said to be for recruiting people for Wanfu University, and for resisting the Oasis group, then what was it for now? Looking at realist Xinghe in front of him, Zhang Yu thought of Chechen, who had also been very caring for him, and Wang Yin, who had spent a lot of money on him. Damn it, is another one coming? Looking at realist Xinghe, who was still asking Deng Bingding for benefits for them, Zhang Yu felt a little panic. Don't do this, old Deng Xinghe, you're making me very scared. After staying in Kongshu for a long time, Zhang Yu was really not used to someone speaking for him and fighting for his interests. He would rather the other party directly charge him. Because in his short 2 years of experience in Kongshu, free things are often more expensive. At the same time, under realist Xinghuo's request, in addition to the time remnant demonic eye and the phaseless wind demon, Deng Bingding also approved the reward of foundation building cultivation techniques. Among them, in addition to the previous 3 foundation building cultivation techniques, Zhang Yu also received a reward of a foundation building cultivation technique, which was a breathing technique called Azure Vortex Key Skill. Bai Zhenjin had not been granted any foundation building cultivation techniques before. This time, she was directly rewarded with 2 foundation building cultivation techniques, namely the foundation building versions of Thunder Strike True Body and Frost Soul Ice Heart technique. After rewarding the cultivation techniques, Deng Bingding stretched out her hand to Zhang Yu, smiled slightly, and said, "Little friend, it's time to return the soul injury brick to me, right?" Zhang Yu reluctantly returned it. Deng Bingding continued, "Also, the removal of the fled dragon spirit, pivot, and the implantation of the time remnant demonic eye. Do you want to do it now? Your original spine is still stored with me." Although Zhang Yu was a little reluctant to part with the flood dragon spirit pivot in his body, he still nodded, "Let's do it now. Anyway, it's destined to be replaced, so it's better to do it sooner and adapt sooner." Then, under the guidance of Deng Bingding, Zhang Yu and the others went to the Oasis Group's magic armament surgery room. On the way, realist Xing commented by Zhenjin, "These two cultivation techniques of yours, one cultivates the physical body, and the other cultivates the Dao heart, and the quality is also good. As long as you put together a set of foundation building cultivation techniques for cultivating magic power, it will be enough for the time being. Zhang Yu, your Azure Vortex key skill Deng Bingding chose well. It's exactly the foundation building breathing technique you lack, which can help you increase your magic power. The Azure Vortex key skill is considered to be of good quality among expert level cultivation techniques, especially the range of collecting spiritual energy is very wide. It is best used for cultivation on spiritual veins, and it is also well matched with your key C spirit root." After listening to realist Xinghuo's comments, Zhang Yu thought to himself, "Suitable for cultivation on spiritual veins? Isn't this purely a rich man's cultivation technique? How can I afford to cultivate it?" Suddenly, Zhang Yu thought of the message sent by the Red Pagoda Dragon director before. His eyes moved, and he thought, "It seems it's not like there's no chance. Although I don't have much money, but I have a lot of seeds. I just didn't expect that when I was refining ghee, I had to make money by selling myself to cultivate, and after I establish the foundation, I still have to sell myself to make money to cultivate." Zhang Yu sighed in his heart that Kungshu is really turning people into ghosts. Next, Zhang Yu and Bai Zhenjin were taken to the Oasis Group's operating room to prepare for magic armament transplantation. Realist Xinghe followed in and made a request to the magic armament surgery doctors. "Zhang, use a magic armament. Don't use a semi-permanent type, use a detachable type, so that he can replace his eyeballs in the time remnant demonic eye every day." Speaking, realist Xinghe explained to Zhang Yu, who was beside him, "The eyes are also part of your body, and they are also good materials for refining magic armaments in the future. Your physical body will inevitably have drastic progress and changes with future cultivation. If you replace this time remnant demonic eye, and never use this original eye, then it won't take long for this eye to be unable to adapt to your physical body, and it will be difficult to match. So after the operation, unless it's an important occasion, you should use the original one in one eye, and the time remnant demonic eye in the other, rotating once every 12 hours. This will always nourish your eyes with qi and blood, so that your two original eyes can always adapt to the changes in your physical body." The Oasis Group's technology in magic armament surgery was obviously very mature. After about an hour, Zhang Yu's flood dragon spirit pivot was replaced with the original spine. His eyes were also modified. Although they looked no different from before, as long as the eyeballs were gently pressed inward twice, they could be removed and replaced. Zhang Yu felt the operation of magic power in his body again. About 100 units of magic power were applied to the time remnant demonic eye. It's like the upper limit of magic power has been deducted by 100 units. The total amount of magic power is still too low. I can't install more magic armaments. Zhang Yu looked in the mirror beside him. His eyes still looked the same as before, but as his thoughts moved, a trace of blood appeared in the pupil of his right eye. Immediately afterwards, Zhang Yu felt that the world in front of him had slowed down. No, the world hasn't slowed down. Zhang Yu thought, it's that the time remnant demonic eye has improved my perception and acceptance of images and can accept more image information per second. Subjectively speaking, it's like the world has slowed down. This is the time remnant ability.